Hello, my name is Chrissy Champagne. You are listening to Residue, a true crime podcast dedicated to keeping you paranoid. This week, I'm going to stray a little bit from my typical format. I ended up watching a fantastic documentary this weekend on Peacock. It's called The Tik Tok Star Murders. And if you haven't checked it out, you should definitely do it right after you listen to this episode. Or if you have already checked it out, hopefully you and I can get a discussion going on social media about how you feel about this case. You can find me on Instagram at Residue Podcast, on Facebook at Residue, a true crime podcast, on TikTok at Residue Podcast, or just send me an email at residuepodcast@gmail.com. So, we are going to talk now about the horrific case called and referred to sometimes as the Tik Tok Star Murders. This is the case of Ali Abulaban, or Scarface, if you want to call him that. A jinn, Jinn, in Arabian and Muslim mythology is an intelligent spirit of lower rank than the angels and is able to appear in human and animal forms, and it can possess humans. Jinn describes a group of spirits that inhabit the earth but can't be seen by humans in their natural form. The word jinn actually translates to something veiled from sight or hidden. And according to folklore, jinn are made of smokeless flame, but they can take human or animal form. A rising TikTok star who went by the name Jinnkid had started to gain millions of followers during COVID. So around 2019, Ali Abulaban is now becoming a huge TikTok star. And we all know that what is the new dream in this world? To become an influencer, to make millions of dollars by creating content, and, basically never having to go to an office again. Ali Abulaban was born May 18th, 1992 in Staten Island. He was born to a Middle Eastern family who was also Muslim. He did grow up in Manassas, Virginia. He worked as a senior IT network engineer for the federal government. Ali's mother, Dalawara, described Ali's childhood on Staten Island as a bit chaotic. She said that as a child, Ali was hyper but talented, but she said that he would often get in trouble at school because he couldn't focus or sit still. She said that when Ali was around 14 years old, his doctor had diagnosed him with ADHD. Those were the claims, but the other issues that Ali had were left untreated. And these issues included things like a rebellious nature. He also had a variety of anger issues, mood issues. He would throw things. He would throw items at family members. His mother recalled that Ali's father was actually very, very strict. Now, this was a Middle Eastern and Muslim family, and it was a very strict environment that Ali grew up in. He didn't really follow religion. Ali's cousin Louis says that Ali was meant to be a star. But Ali's mother recalls that Ali's father was insanely angry all the time and used to take his anger out on the family members, including her and Ali. His mother recalls an incident in which Ali's father was upset that Ali was playing Guitar Hero, and he grabbed the guitar out of Ali's hands, broke the guitar, and started hitting him in the head with the pieces. As he did this, he screamed, "You're a loser. I'm sick of you." So that gives you a little insight into Ali's childhood. It was also said that in school and amongst his peers, Ali would always try to be funny and make people laugh, but everyone would just pick on him. So when he was in high school, he often skipped classes, and he ended up graduating high school from New Directions Alternative School. After he left that alternative school, he ended up going to college for only 1 semester before he joined the military. Ali joined the Air Force in his late teens, somewhere around 18 years old, and he was stationed in Okinawa, Japan. So on the military base in Okinawa, a lot of friendships are formed on this island. At this point is when Ali meets Anna. Anna was from the Philippines, and her dad was stationed in Okinawa. Anna had a tight-knit friend group. She was caring, sweet, happy, a fantastic friend. I mean, she loved her friends. In 2014, she meets Ali on the island of Okinawa, and he was actually a singer in a band at this point in his life. And her friend said that she was just super attracted to him. She liked that he was on the right path and that he seemed successful to her. Things seemed okay at first, but friends would often tell Anna that Ali seemed a little controlling and they felt uneasy around him. And that had to be a little true, because it's now at this point that Ali is going to get into a fight with one of Anna's friends. And I'm not sure what friend or whether or not this friend was female or male, but the fight was so bad, and it was said that Ali allegedly assaulted this friend. He was now discharged from the military and told that he had to leave Okinawa and go back to Bristol, Virginia in 2015. At this point, his parents are pissed. They had high aspirations for their son. They thought he was going to go really far in his career in the Air Force, and now he has lost his temper on someone, and he is now back home and has to begin a completely new path. Anna has now returned home to the Philippines, and she finds out that she is pregnant. 8 months after finding out that she is pregnant, Anna and Ali have their daughter, Amira. Amira was born in the Philippines, and at this time, Ali really has been trying for months, almost a year now, to get a visa for Anna so she can come live with him in Virginia, because all of his family is there and they would have so much help with the baby. So maybe about 9 months after Amira is born, Ali does get this visa and he does bring Anna to Virginia. At this point, everyone says that the family seemed perfect. They had a cute little wedding down at the courthouse. Everyone in Ali's family loved Anna. They adored Amira. Everything seemed to be going great. It is here in Virginia that Ali creates the persona Jinnkid, and he starts to get a little following on TikTok. So Ali just really loved acting. He really loved doing impersonations, and his cousin Louis actually said that he wanted to be this different entity that was super famous. And as we said earlier in the beginning, we know what Jinn means. So Ali took on this persona as Jinnkid. And you know what? It was really starting to take off on TikTok. I just gotta say, I don't know why. I've seen these videos. I don't get it. I mean, he did a lot of videos about video games, especially Skyrim, and they did look kind of cool. The way he edits and the way he directs things was pretty great, but the actual content for me, I didn't find funny. I didn't find it interesting. I guess I don't really think that when you do a Scarface impersonation over and over and over, that it's something that I care to look at. But you know what? Like 1.5 million people did.
She said, please, I'll go ahead and do it. But just a warning, this is a very intense scene, so I'm going to need to get into character. I'm going. Huh? How'd you like that? Huh? You fucking motherfucker! You think you can thank me? You know that fucking honor you're going to thank me, you hear? Girl, I think you out the fucking hell. Girl, go to me! Who do you think you're fucking with, man? I told him on that. You're fucking with me. You're fucking with the best. How'd you like that? God, I tell you fucking bullet. You think you kill me with bullet? I tell you fucking bullet. God.
That was just an example of one of his TikToks. People would ask him to do certain scenes from Scarface and he would perform them. I mean, he does do a great impersonation of Scarface, but I think he just actually wanted to be Scarface. He also did impersonations of John Wick, Nicolas Cage, 6ix9ine. He was really talented in making the reels, and especially I think he blew up with the Skyrim videos. So in these Skyrim videos, his wife Anna would actually take part in helping him. She would have very, very small parts in these videos. She wasn't in them a lot. Most times you could just see her hand. Now, I never played Skyrim, so I'm not really getting it, but her hand is like leading the way and she's filming with the camera. But Anna is like gorgeous. I'm talking like she is insanely beautiful. And, you know, she's going to be noticed. There's no doubt about it. The minute she gets on these videos that Ali is making, obviously people start falling in love with his wife now. And now Anna's starting to get a little bit of fame too. She's starting to get followers. She's starting to have more content that she is making on her own. She was really into fashion, makeup, friends. Like, she would post a lot about going out with her friends. And let me tell you, this group of girls is like hot. So there's comments coming through. You can tell Ali is getting a little jealous. Obviously, this man needs to be the center of attention at all times, but his hot-ass wife is making her way up this TikTok chain now. And the funny part is, Anna didn't even care. Like, she had fun with it. She liked dressing up. She liked making videos with her own friends. You know, it was during COVID in the beginning of this, and it was a way for her to connect with her friends all across the country. And she didn't really care about TikTok fame. She just loved being herself.
I'm Mandy.
And I'm Avery.
We're the hosts and creators of Thick Thighs and Creepy Vibes.
Join us as we take a deep dive into the macabre and the unexplained.
Listen every Wednesday as we take you on a chilling journey that transports you to all corners of the Great White North.
Let's boot those Sunday scaries while we take a rip into the harrowing tales of the haunted and the supernatural phenomena that defy explanation.
So grab your ketchup chips
And your Caesars, and make sure to
creep it real.
So Ali and Anna are now TikTok famous, and the money is rolling in. They're getting sponsorships, they're getting ads, and with that, they are also partying a lot more than usual. And friends said that Ali started abusing cocaine. I'm talking like abnormal, humongous amounts of cocaine. He always had a baggie in his pockets. And his cousin, Louis, says, you know what? Ali just thinks he's the shit. He felt like he was better than everybody, than all other people. Ali thought that he was important, and he believed that he was famous. Friends say around this time is when Ali was sort of keeping Anna to himself. He didn't really want her to be with friends. He didn't really want her to go out partying. He was getting really jealous of all of the attention she was getting online. But somehow Anna talked Ali into moving to San Diego. She wanted to leave Virginia. All of her friends lived in San Diego, and she talked him into going, and they ended up leaving, moving to San Diego and moving into a high-rise apartment on the 35th floor. While living in San Diego, the two would film these really romantic TikToks that they would put on their pages, and they would portray their relationship as something that everyone should be jealous of. Like, these two portray to the world that there is nothing wrong in their relationship and everyone else should want this, hashtag relationship goals. But behind the scenes, that was not the case at all. They were fighting constantly. They were fighting so much that there is an obscene amount of footage on the Peacock documentary because Ali was basically recording everything that they did in their lives. I mean, he was recording the parts that were gonna, in his mind, make Anna look like the bad person when they got into fights. But in almost all of these recordings that you can see and hear in the documentary, Anna doesn't speak. If she is speaking, she's telling him to stop. She's trying not to be shown on camera, and she's trying to just dissolve the situation by ignoring him. But we all know that you cannot ignore a narcissist. The minute they're ignored, they want it more. They want the attention more. So this is actually a very dangerous situation that Anna is in right now. There are points in their relationship at this time, this is 2021, that Ali is now broadcasting on Instagram Lives the fights that he is having with Anna. And he is telling everyone, all of his fans, he is telling his fans that he loves them and he wants them to know that they need to look inside of his life. He wants to share his real life with them. And his real life is the fact that, in his words, his wife is a bitch and a whore. And he is saying this. And these fans, some of them are like, oh, yo, man, yeah, we feel so sorry for you. Like, dudes or gals, whoever the fuck was commenting, stop. I mean, it was a train wreck in full effect. There are moments now where Ali is taping Anna and she's just sitting there on the couch. There's one moment where she actually calls his mother and she's actually just like begging her to come get her son or tell her son to come to her house, like get him away from me. Of course, her pleas are not really heard from Ali's mother because she's just kind of berating the couple and telling them to get their lives together, when in actuality, like, some real shit is going down right now and Anna feels scared to death. She's reaching out. She's calling someone to let them know, I need help. I need help, and I'm calling you to at least give a little bit of cushion between myself and my very abusive husband. I'm going to play a sample of one of the tapes that Ali had on his cell phone. He recorded this the night that he actually was confronted by the police at his front door.
When was the last time you fucking saw me smile? Or fucking laugh?
So how do I change that?
Fucking don't make me happy, you just make everything worse.
I'm sorry, Anna.
Complain about everything, nothing ever makes you happy. This is why we're losing everything, because you complain. About everything good that happens to us, you complain. Everything is negative.
I'm sorry, Anna. I'm sorry, babe. I don't know how I got that way. I'm sorry. I wish I could just hold you.
I don't want you to hold me.
I wish I could just hold.
Police now arrive at Ali and Anna's apartment, and the police are just trying to calm the situation down, and they are constantly having to tell Ali that, you know what, you need to do what is best for your daughter. Ali says to the police, I brought her to this country and now some asshole will be touching my wife. He is telling them that he threw his whole life away for her. And my question to this is always, if you are going to be calling your wife a whore and a bitch and calling her out online and in public and saying your whole life is ruined because of her, then fucking leave. Let your wife and kid stay in the house and you fucking leave. Because here's the thing, Ali was cheating on Anna this whole time, and he admits it to her. A neighbor in their high-rise apartment building actually confronted Anna and said she needed to speak to her because she had some information regarding her husband. And that information was that Ali was inviting this woman in. He had bags of cocaine. He was asking her to come over to their apartment when Anna wasn't home. So Anna confronts Ali, and he actually ends up sending her a bunch of voice memos screaming at her, telling her that not only did he try to or did have sex with the neighbor, but he also, quote, fucked a girl in Miami. He fucked another girl that he met from TikTok. He fucked a girl in Vegas. So Ali is pissed because Anna's getting attention, and he's especially pissed because she has a friend named Rayburn Barron who Ali is extremely jealous of. He makes Anna very aware of the fact that Ali does not want Anna hanging out with Rayburn or any other men for that matter. I mean, he can go do every neighbor from every floor in that damn apartment building, but she better just close her eyes, never open her mouth, and never speak to anyone at all because she's his wife. Now, there is only so much of this that anyone can take. Anyone in an abusive relationship like this is going to hit their breaking point, and it's just a matter of time to when this happens. When you think about the fact that she's going through so much, you are like, well, why didn't she just leave? It's really the dumbest question that anyone can ever ask someone in a situation like this. There are a ton of reasons why people don't leave abusive relationships. I want to highlight just a few of the reasons why someone wouldn't leave a violent or abusive relationship. And this was the Institute for Family Studies article written by Jason Whiting from July 21st, 2016. So a couple of the reasons are distorted thoughts, meaning you have been under someone's control for so long. You have been so hurt and traumatized. It's almost like a trauma bond. And this is going to lead you to doubts about yourself. You're going to blame yourself. You are ashamed. Another reason is your self-worth has been damaged. And another reason is probably the biggest one is fear. If this person's going to do this in front of your child, in front of his own mother, in front of millions of people watching him on TikTok, then what is he going to do to you when you're alone? More reasons are financial constraints, family expectations. Wanting to be a savior is one of the big reasons. And that's when someone thinks that they can save someone or change someone that's abusive. They feel like this is actually love when it really isn't. And that maybe they could change this person and they could be a better person or just be that same person they were in the very beginning when they love bombed them. And probably the biggest reason is children. And so many people will not leave a marriage or a relationship because of the children. And sometimes it doesn't even have to be abusive or violent. It's just lacking love or intimacy, and they still just stay for the children. But in Anna's case, even though she wanted things to be okay for their daughter Amira, this was not the way to make things okay, and she knew that. Amira was listening, and she heard a lot of these fights. She witnessed a lot of this go on. There were times that Ali even had a gun in the home and out flailing at the same time as Amira was just hanging out in the apartment with them. So Anna has hit her breaking point. This is it. She wants out and she is not going to stop. She is leaving, whether Ali likes it or not. Anna has the support of all of her friends. These are more like sisters to her. Now they're all 100% backing her. Anna gets the courage. She ends up leaving Ali. She leaves the apartment with their daughter. And to her surprise, in October, Ali says, you know what? Why don't you come home? I'll get a hotel and you can have the apartment. And she's like elated. She's like, great, this is going to work out fine now. So Anna ends up moving back into the high-rise apartment on the 35th floor, and Ali actually ends up going to a hotel. But why is he doing this? I think we know why he's doing this. So again, this puts Ali in the driver's seat. Now he's got control of Anna. He knows where she is at all times. He even knows how to get into this place because he used to live there. He bought this apartment. So what he does is he makes a copy of the house key. He also would take his daughter's iPad, add an app to the iPad that would spy on anyone in the house. Like it could hear conversations that were taking place inside of the apartment if Ali had the same app on his phone. So one day when Anna leaves to take her daughter to school, she is gone for a little bit. Ali enters the apartment with the key that he had made, and he puts this iPad underneath the couch. It's hidden underneath the couch now. Anna will have no idea that it's here. And then Ali decides that he's gonna vandalize the shit out of this apartment. He just massacres her apartment. Anna's going to arrive home and she's going to walk into this horrific mess. And it's scary. She knows he did it. She knows. So she calls her friend and she asks her friend if this friend could go and pick her daughter up from school today, because there is no way that she can have Amira come home to this mess. So her friend agrees, and then Anna calls her new friend, Rayburn Barron, and she asks him if he would help her clean up this mess. Could he please come over? And she might have been feeling a little nervous and a little scared, so to have a male presence around her was probably going to be a little comforting for her. Rayburn is now at Anna's apartment, and of course, Ali is going to hear this man's voice on that iPad that he had hidden. So Ali's sitting in his hotel, and he just starts to lose his mind because he can hear a man's voice, and he probably suspected that it was Rayburn. He doesn't ever say that, but the man was insanely jealous of Rayburn. So it's around 2:15 p.m. Ali is going to get into his car and he is going to drive over to the home that he used to share with Anna. The minute that Ali enters the parking garage for the apartment complex, he is now recording everything on his phone. And in the documentary, you can see even him in the elevator talking to just a random neighbor in the elevator going up. He's recording all of this, his every movement. So he gets to the 35th floor, and what is crazy is that a neighbor's Nest camera actually catches this entire situation. Ali will now enter the apartment without permission, and on the camera recording, you can hear Rayburn sort of call out something, but then 2 shots go off. You will hear Anna call out, and then you will hear 2 more gunshots. Then you will hear 2 more gunshots. Ali will exit the apartment and he will walk back and forth, and then he will go back into the apartment and scream out Anna's name. And when you hear this, it sounds like acting. You know, because you've seen Ali on so many TikToks trying to be Al Pacino, that when he is acting, now you can tell. You can tell on this camera footage. You can tell in the later courtroom trial. The Nest camera will pick Ali up. He is running back and forth in the hallway. He will call his mother on his cell phone, and on that footage, you can hear him say, "Mom, I killed Anna. I killed them. They are dead." Neighbors call 911, and Anna's friend actually also calls 911 because as she showed up to the school to pick up their daughter Amira, she saw Ali pull up first in his black Jeep Wrangler, and he got Amira into the car. Anna's friend tried to follow Ali, but she lost track of him, so she called 911. And very, very quickly, the police are going to arrest Ali on the side of the road with his daughter Amira still safe inside of that Jeep. In the apartment at the scene of the murder, Rayburn would be on the couch with a gunshot wound to his face, with his head leaned back. Anna would be shot in the head, and her body was slumped over into Rayburn's lap. As Anna's friends would later say to the news cameras, this is the end result. This is what could happen when you stay in an abusive relationship or when you leave an abusive relationship. Here is the end result, and we need to do something to change this. On May 1st, 2024, this year, the trial began for Ali Abulaban. He agreed, yes, he did kill them. Both sides are agreeing this, but they don't know the why. So, was it premeditated? And that is what the prosecutor, Taryn Brast, is going to try to say, is that this was a premeditated murder. There's no doubt about it. I mean, in my mind, there's no doubt about it. That man went to great lengths to sneak and spy on his wife. He made a key to get into her apartment. He put the app on the iPad. He had to go up 35 floors in an elevator. He knew what he was going to do. So the lawyers are going to say that to prove premeditation is pretty hard. So you cannot even have one juror say that they found reasonable doubt. In California, 2 counts of first-degree murder is punishable by life in prison without the possibility of parole. But the defense lawyer, Jody Green, the public defender, she's going to try to say that this was a crime of passion, voluntary manslaughter, which means it's a lesser charge and it's a killing in the heat of the moment without forethought type of crime. This would only give him a minimum of 6 years. His lawyer is going to try to argue that Anna pushed Ali to the brink. Flimsy defense, lady. Flimsy defense. And kind of rude, actually. Pisses me off a little bit. In another smart move by the defense, they let Ali get up on the stand and testify in his own defense. That's always a joy to see. Some of the footage is actually ridiculous and hilarious just because he thinks that he is so smart. He's up there acting again. He's trying to even crack little snarky jokes back at the prosecution when they're asking him questions. Here, I have a little clip of one. Watch how funny Ali is.
Yesterday, you wanted a gun that was accurate, right?
I wanted a reliable gun.
Reliable for shooting, right?
No, for for dancing. I don't know.
You need to answer the question. You wanted a gun that was reliable for shooting, right?
Yes.
It obviously was not going to take long for a jury of his peers to see right through his bullshit. And on May 29th, 2024, Ali Abulaban was found guilty of murder in the first degree on 2 counts. Ali was to be sentenced on June 28th, 2024. But obviously, June 28th, 2024 has now come and gone, and there was no sentencing. And here is why. Because according to the prosecutors, this continuance was requested by the defense because they wanted time to hire a prison expert to prepare Ali for prison. So the judge agreed to postpone the sentencing until September 6th of this year, 2024. The family and friends of both victims were in the courtroom that day and they were ready to give their victim impact statements, but they decided to wait. They said, "We were preparing for this day, this final day to start our healing. With this news, it's not over yet. It's been almost 3 years and we don't have any closure." Forensic psychologist Joni Johnston says that the enemy of making healthy decisions is isolation. And the biggest thing you can do for yourself if you are in an abusive or violent relationship is that you need to end the isolation. If you or anyone you know needs help, please call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. One of Ali's most famous impersonations of Tony Montana from Scarface was this quote right here. I could play you Jinnkid doing this impersonation, but his voice annoys the shit out of me, so I'm just going to read you the actual quote, because when you actually look at what he was constantly saying, I think he really took this shit to heart. He really thought he was Scarface. So here's Tony Montana. He's standing up in the restaurant in Scarface and he's saying this to everyone in the restaurant. He's like, "What are you looking at? You all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say that's the bad guy. So, what that make you? Good? You're not good. You just know how to hide and how to lie. Me, I don't have that problem. Me, I always tell the truth, even when I lie. So say goodnight to the bad guy. Come on. The last time you go and see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you, come on. Make way for the bad guy. There's a bad guy coming through. Better get out of his way." I'm not the best at a Scarface impersonation, I gotta say. I think your days are numbered. I think your days are done, Jinnkid. And hopefully, while you're in prison, nobody walks up to you and says, "Say hello to my little friend." Well, one thing is for sure, Jinnkid. You are certainly TikTok famous now. Thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode of Residue. I will keep you updated on the September 6th, 2024 sentencing. I hope you enjoyed the show, and if you did, could you please leave me a 5-star review? But only if you really enjoyed it. I don't want you to lie or anything. And also, I do want you all to remember that I need you. I beg of you to stay safe and stay paranoid.